Hi, I'm David Brandon, disability lawyer here at Resolute Legal. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about whether a person can apply for CPP disability while they're still working. So after watching this video, you'll have a better idea if you can apply for CPP disability while you're still working, and more importantly, is it possible that you could actually get approved? If you enjoy the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Also, we'd love to get your feedback and comments, especially if you need something clarified that was brought up in the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you'll get our videos in the future and get notifications when they come out. We're often asked, can I apply for CPP disability even though I'm still working? A lot of people continue to work and are barely scraping by and barely able to work, and it's hard to make that decision of when you're going to stop working and when you're going to apply for CPP disability. One of the concerns people have is that, well, what if it takes months and months to be approved? That's going to be months and months that I don't have income, and so can I just continue to work right up to the point that I'm approved for CPP disability? And could I even continue to work a little bit after I'm approved? So where we want to start is to go back to the basics. What are the criteria to be approved for CPP disability? Let's just review those quickly. Number one, there's an age criteria. Let's just assume you meet that. The second one is the contribution requirement. Again, let's assume you meet that. The third one is disability. That's the important one here as it relates to work. Disability for CPP disability is defined as needing to be severe and prolonged. Severe is defined as having a mental or physical disability that regularly stops you from being able to do any substantially gainful work. Now that is the important part there. Regularly doing any substantially gainful work. So in theory, yes, you can still be technically working and qualify to receive CPP disability benefits. For that to happen, your work would either have to be not deemed to be substantially gainful work, or if it is, you'd have to be deemed that you're not able to regularly do it. Even those two things are technically true. In reality, if you indicate on your application, and there's a question, they ask you, are you still working? Yes or no? If you put yes, you are allowed to give some explanation there. But more often than not, if you put down that you're still working, it usually will result in automatic disapproval of your CPP disability claim. Now that doesn't mean you can't be successful. It just means that right off the bat with your initial application, sometimes even with the first appeal, you're going to get denied based on the idea that you're still working and still capable of work. It is possible to get approved while you're still working, because we've had clients where we've gotten them approved and they were still working. It really boils down to a couple things. Number one is a lot of it will depend on your credibility. Often you're the only person that knows whether you could work harder or longer or whether you really are at your maximum. So even though you're saying that you are working at your full capacity and you can only do 1 day a week or something that is deemed to be not substantially gainful, the issue is going to be whether people believe you. So one of the reasons why you will be denied, or often will be denied, is that the adjudicators and the judge just won't believe you that you couldn't do a bit more. So if you're showing some capacity to work, there's going to be a tendency for people to believe that you probably can do more than you're doing. In order to be successful, take away the fear or the concern that a person would have about that. You'd have to be able to show them that you have tried all types of work, and it's well documented, and you've had to cut back, and you've pushed forward and had to cut back. So there have to be a lot of things that you've done to demonstrate it. It can't just be based on you saying it or you feeling it. You have to have a track record showing that you tried to work more and it had to cut back. In that kind of situation, it can be accepted. Even if they accept that you are doing a little bit of work, it's not substantially gainful. If there's any idea that you haven't done everything that's been recommended medically, you're going to lose the case. Because the idea is going to be that if you had done the right medical treatment and if you followed the recommendations, your symptoms wouldn't be so bad and you'd be able to work more. It can be a situation where not doing enough medically can kind of swing back around and affect this idea of whether you can work or could work more. So the last kind of example of when you could be working and still get approved for CPP disability is if you're not in what's called a real world work situation. There can be situations where someone is working and being paid based on a full-time work week, or being paid a substantial amount. That would definitely, if you just looked at the numbers, you would say, of course, this is substantially gainful work. They're being paid, based on someone doing a 40-hour work week. Sometimes you do have to look behind what's really going on. And in some work situations, we call them benevolent work situations, is one word that's often used. A favor is being given to you by the employer, that there's some type of charity situation going on, that you have a job and you're being paid for work that you're not actually doing. Now, it doesn't mean that this is some type of scam or anything like that. Often family members or friends will employ someone and pay them above what they would pay someone else to do the work that's actually being done, out of compassion, out of wanting to help them out. Or maybe there are coworkers who are doing the work. Maybe the employer is not even aware, but the coworkers are stepping in and doing all the work, and the person is, just showing up to work, but they're not capable of doing the work, but they're being paid because there's an assumption that they're doing the work. We actually won a case once where our client was working full-time, being paid very good money, but the evidence and the truth was she was not actually doing any work. She was sitting there the whole day, and her coworkers were helping her out. They all felt bad for her. She was a single mother, and this was the only way she could keep things afloat. So we were successful in that case because we were able to prove that. Now, proving a benevolent employer situation is not always easy, and often will require you to have the employer to come in and confirm it. But that is another example of a situation where you could be working and it appears you're being paid for full-time work, but you're not in fact doing it. So there you have it. In summary, yes, in theory, you can continue to work and apply for and qualify for CPP disability. In practice, it's a lot harder than that. Your case is going to have to be very carefully handled, and there's going to have to be a lot of evidence and the way you're presenting your case to show that you've done everything possible to remain in work, that there's no questions at all about your credibility, there's no questions at all about whether you've done all the types of treatment, and whether this is possibly a benevolent employer situation. You would need to prove that as well. If you like the video, please go hit the like button right now. That really helps us out. Also, it's great to help us and other people who will watch this video in the future. If you ask questions below for clarifications, or if you have comments, we will be watching for those and we'll be happy to comment back. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell notification button. That will allow you to get our videos and get notice of our videos going forward in the future. Keep watching our videos to learn more about CPP disability.